And I do have a lot of questions for you on how you would navigate that
Right.
if you were going to become Prime Minister. But when you say, for example, that what this MP Michael Ma is doing or Chris D'Entremont is different than Leona Alice-Lev, I fail to see how that's the case. She also criticized the Conservative Party on multiple occasions. She left. She became not only a member of your party, but the deputy leader of the party. I didn't hear you at the time say, this is an abhorrent thing. How could this happen in the way that you're saying right now?
Well, I remember at the time she was saying that the Liberals were then driving the deficit out of control. They were leading to rising living costs, that they had a soft on crime policy that was not consistent with what she expected. And that's why we have to focus on making the lives of Canadians safe and affordable again. That has been my mission in this session of Parliament. And it's certainly going to be the mission when we get back, because frankly, people need hope again that things can get better and that they don't have to live in an unaffordable, unsafe country where they're in debt and in danger, that things can actually get better. We're the only party that will make them better.
I didn't hear you say that you unequivocally don't think other MPs will leave for the Liberals. I asked because two Liberal ministers, Minister McKinnon, Minister Hodgson, have both intimated that there are others who have approached them. If MPs in your party were happy with you and your leadership, wouldn't they stay?
Well, I think the ministers you just mentioned, along with Mr. Carney, are trying to manipulate an undemocratic majority that Canadians rejected that would drive up grocery prices, housing costs, and crime. Canadians voted against the rampant inflation Liberals have caused. They voted against out-of-control spending. They voted against the soft on crime laws and the open border immigration policies that Liberals have imposed. And if Mark Carney believes that he should have a majority to go ahead with the high-cost policies he's running on, then he should get that mandate from Canadians in an election, not through dirty backroom deals.
How is it his fault that people left your party? I can't even understand the argument after one MP. Two MPs. The third MP doesn't want to be in politics anymore after rumors that he was also going to cross the floor. At what point is it not about them and it about you, with great respect?
Well, with great respect, Mr. Carney has said that he wants to get a majority, not by winning in a majority government election, but by making backroom deals in order to get floor crossers. And
but the Conservatives made backroom deals too.
Canadians specifically rejected a Liberal majority in the last election. The vast majority of voters voted against that majority because they knew that it would mean a higher cost of living, that they would be unsafe in their streets. And it is undemocratic through a series of backroom deals, Mr. Carney to try and concentrate more power and money in his own hands rather than allowing the Canadian people's decision to stand. So we believe in holding the government to account for the broken promises, but also proposing positive ideas that will make life more affordable and safer. That's what we've done for the session, and that's what we're going to be doing in the new Parliament.
If you can't convince your entire own caucus of that, how will you convince Canadians?
Well, how will I convince Canadians? We'll be going into communities, into community halls, meeting with people at grocery stores and coffee shops, to talk to them about getting rid of the industrial carbon tax, lowering the income taxes, cutting back on the new fuel taxes Liberals are bringing in, so that people can actually afford to eat, heat, and house themselves. That's how we're going to do it.
But I'll put to you again, you could not convince two of your own MPs that those ideas were enough to stay in the party under your leadership. And again, I'll put to you with great respect, I look at public opinion polling. Every single one of them has your party and the Liberals neck and neck, within 1 or 2 points of each other. But when you look deeper at your own personal numbers, the divide between you and the leader of the Liberal Party, the Prime Minister, is far more significant. You were supposed to win this election, you lost it, you didn't hold your own seat. You have now lost 3 MPs. At what point are you a liability to the Conservative Party?
Well, we added 2.5 million votes. We had the biggest vote count in our party's history. We got 25 more seats, the biggest share of votes since 1988. Why? Because I ran on restoring the promise of this country, that anybody who works hard gets a good life, gets an affordable home, a safe street. And that vision brought people to our party in record numbers. We've led the debate on inflation, carbon taxes, crime, immigration, natural resources, drugs, and more, to the point where the Liberals have to plagiarize our words, even though if they don't actually put them into practice. So we've been driving the debate under my leadership, and we're going to continue to demonstrate that if Canadians want those policies that Liberals keep pretending to support, they're actually going to have to vote for the real deal in the next election.
But you lost. at the end of the day, you lost, right? And I just don't understand kind of how, after all of that, and I'm not taking away from the election result, the significance of it, and certainly I've directed a lot of those questions at the Liberals to try and hold them to account. But there is absolutely zero sense of contrition on your part, particularly after the loss of these two MPs. Why?
Well, I'm very troubled that they made that decision, but the people in their ridings voted for the Conservative agenda that I'm continually leading on in the House of Commons, again, which is to make this country affordable once again. And I'm not, we focus a lot on the palace intrigue of Parliament Hill. We need to focus on the real lives of Canadians who can't afford to eat right now. We've got 2.2 million visits to a food bank every single month. That is twice what it was just a decade ago, a number that's increasing this year. Next year, grocery prices are expected to go up another $1,000. Family of four will be spending $17,600. So I appreciate the obsession around this place with the palace intrigue and the interpersonal debates, but what really matters is whether people can actually put food on the dinner table every night. And I'm the only one who's been consistently championing the right of people who work hard to have decent food, to have a good home, to live on a safe street, and that's what we're going to